Hello, everyone. Greetings from my side. And we can say like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As we know, we all are joining from different parts of the global. First of all, before we start this session, I wanted to pay my deepest gratitude to Brahmshri Pitame Patriji, who has shown us this beautiful path. And now moving forward, first of all, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kanchan Gupta, and I'm joining with you from Melbourne. And today I will be the host for this whole session. So thank you for having me, first of all. Now, I would like to welcome you all, friends, in the program, this wonderful program which is going on. It is day 16 today in the My Time Infinity, which is being organized by IFSS International and PSSM Global in collaboration. Dear friends, we all have started these sessions like 15 days back. We are in day 16. So it has been started on 20th of May, they have started. And on 21st of June, on the Yoga Day, we are finishing it. So altogether, it is a 33 days journey we will be going together. And believe me, it will be a wonderful journey for all of you. And you will be able to see yourself a new and a different version of your one. In fact, it's after every session you can find those things in yourself. So masters, as this journey is going in a different ways, different topics we are covering till so far, and we have already been aware to you all that in these sessions we will be covering different modalities. So when we are saying that we are covering different modalities, so what is the basic necessity when we are talking about the different wisdoms are coming to us? So the first thing is the readiness of the participants. And earlier in these sessions, Jenny and all has talked about the concept of empty cup. And yes, I request you all again that yes, keep yourself ready, keep yourself totally open to accept that today's beautiful wisdom, and that wisdom is inner child. So, friends, we have this very interesting topic, inner child. What is it? And how does it impact on us? Lot many questions we all are carrying in us. So, for this, we have a wonderful speaker with us. Her name is Harika Suri. Before I welcome ma'am on this platform, just detailing a little between that this today's session is going a little bit different. We will be doing, first of all, the interaction session will be going on, where your questions and my questions, we will try to speak with Harika. And after our wisdom talk, we will be going on Q&A. So try to clear all your doubts before we move forward with the meditation part, because it's very, very important that there should not be any question mark in your mind while you will sit in the meditation. So Harika will be with us for answering our own, like the deep inside, whatever you are having, just vent it out at this moment. So I would like to welcome Harika now. Welcome, Harika. And
Thank you, Kanchan.
thank you for joining with us today. So before we move forward, just let me do the formal introduction of Harika. Harika is a QLU Sanghamatra under the guidance of her teachers, Dr. Newton, MBBS. He is an MBBS and MD doctor, and Dr. Lakshmi Newton. She is also an MBBS doctor, and they both are the founders of QLU. She has found her purpose of life and has been serving QLU for more than a decade now. She went through a great transformation after meeting masters Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi and attending their programs for the first time in 2008, immediately after graduating from college. And soon she chose to dedicate herself to vision of QLU, and now she is residing on the campus to serve better. She is a counselor, soul coach trainer, facilitator of alternate healing modalities, past life regression, inner child work, family constellation, rebirthing, breathing, and life between lives from QLE. Friends, We all know she is a wonderful master and she had been taught meditation by her parents in 2004 when she was going through a phase of fear and low self worth and not talking to anyone, staying behind the closed doors. But meditation helped her a lot to overcome everything. She is the master whose life was having only two colors earlier, black and white. But now I can see like she is living her life with full joy and just with such a beautiful smile. So now I would like to welcome Harika. Welcome, Harika. Thank you for thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Kanchiji. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and thank you for having me here, all of you. Thank you so much. Great effort, all of you, the programs that you're conducting. I'm sure so many people are touched and benefited with the wisdom. And I have seen a few sessions and they are beautiful. Really happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Harika, for this beautiful appreciation for the whole team. So, masters, if we all are ready, can we move forward for this a little bit of the different session for the interactive talk? Okay, so we all are ready for this. So, Harika, now my first question, it came to my mind. It's like we all had a very beautiful journey in last 15 days, and we had lot many speakers on this platform. Most of the speakers had talked about the beliefs and the patterns what we carry in deep inside in our subconscious mind, and sometimes these beliefs put us in a victimized state. And so just how we can come out from these things and what is these beliefs patterns and all. So my first questions to you, just put a light on the topic, what is this inner child?
Beautiful. So it's beautiful to know that you have already touched the topic of beliefs because that's a major part of our lives. How we operate, how we speak, and how we react or respond to a particular situation is. You are on mute, and I see that they can't hear me properly. Is it?
Yeah, Harika, some of the noise or the voice is not clear.
My voice is not clear.
Yeah, some the humming and echo sound is disturbing, I think. Is any other device near about you because
No
of this
device.
interference?
There are some, I am in nature, so there are some beings that are making a sound and I cannot stop them. But I can stop the fan. I will do that one moment.
Let's give a try, Master. Please let us know if you are still not able to hear properly.
Okay. I hope that it will be better now. I'm not.
Yeah, it's beautiful now.
I'm not sure when they will start again. It's early in the morning here, and
There's a cricket voice on the back, I think, that the not the interference.
yes. So yeah, so I live in QLU, and this is a place where all beings live together. There are some bugs and snakes and even wild boars and everything, but some of them can come inside, some of them cannot, of course. Monkeys
Oh,
come, but there are something, I don't know what you call them. In Telugu, it's midatalu, something like that. So those beings make a lot of sound in the night.
yeah, there's a cricket sound, basically,
I
I
hope
can
now
realize.
to keep quiet. It's morning already.
Then we request everyone to help us to go through this session with a beautiful voice of yours.
Thank you. So yes, so beliefs may play a major role in our lives, and we all are always acting from our beliefs, from our conditioning. So where are these coming from? So we all, if you have already learned about belief systems and all, you know how deep it is imprinted on our minds, right? So where does it begin actually? In this life, the foundation for this life is our childhood, right? So whatever happens in our childhood, even including the period when you were in your mother's womb, that's also your childhood, those 9 months. And including that part, and after you were born, for the first 3 to 5 years, and up to 7, 8 years also, it's a very, very important formational years, formational period of our lives. So in that age, around that time, most of our core beliefs are formed. Most of our views, our perspective towards life is actually decided in that time. Uh, Decided by whom? Not by someone else, but by our own selves, by all the situations that we have gone through in that age, in that phase. Uh, we form certain thoughts and beliefs. You may say, but our brains are not formed by then. How come the beliefs are formed? It's not about the brain, it is the feeling of the child, as a child, you may not really have so many words in your mind, you may not know the language, but you have feelings. Feelings are the language of a child, right? So, if in your very young age, if someone was sent to their grandparents, maybe because mother is not well, she's not able to take care of the child, or mother is occupied, father is not able to spend time, it impacts the child a lot. The child needs certain things. There are so many needs for a child, basic needs. What we call basic needs are just food, clothing, and shelter. But for a child, it is not just that. For humans, it's not just that. For animals, maybe that is true. But for humans, we have physical needs, and whatever we have just mentioned, food, clothing, shelter, they come under physical needs. And then we have mental needs and mind related needs. I'll explain about that. And then we have emotional needs also. So, at a very young age, we may not have the mind related stuff, but we have emotions. When a child is hungry, when a child is uncomfortable, there's discomfort in the bed, or there is a pain, how does the child communicate? They communicate by crying. When the child is happy, the child communicates by laughing, giggling. So children, children are like their language is emotions. They express everything, whatever they feel. Right? They can't hide that. They don't need to, of course. And that is why we love them. We love looking at children, right? So yes, we have gone through this childhood. Now we are grown up. That part of our life is over. That's what we think. But that is not over yet. It is still there. Every part of you that you have lived, every age, every phase of your life, just like your memories, that personality is also there within each one of us. That's why you see, when we do certain things like maybe even if it is a 60-year-old, 70-year-old person, if you just give them balloons, how would their expressions change? They become a child. They just start playing with the balloons again. And if you see children, what happens? Your own inner child comes out. You start speaking like them, you start acting like them, you forget your personality, your position, your status quo, everything is forgotten. You become a child, you start playing with them. So that part of you which comes out when you are with children, when you are with your childhood toys, or you visit your childhood place, or you eat your favorite childhood dish, that part of you that comes out, that joy that comes out, that is your inner child. And inner child is also that part of you which behaves like a child even today, not just in a positive aspect, but in another way also. Like whenever there is a situation, some discomfort is there, some conflict is there. How are adults supposed to behave? Usually, a mature adult will deal with it by talking it out, right? by trying to resolve it by through words. Okay, I felt it this way, but looks like your opinion is different and all. But how do we react usually? Most of us, we kind of scream, we yell, we throw things. Right? Who does that? The child does that, right? So usually children, because they did not know the language yet at a very young age, they used to communicate that way. We used to communicate that way. When we were upset or angry, we used to throw things. We used to throw tantrums. We used to cry. We used to bang the table and floor and say, I want that thing. But if we are doing the same thing even today, when we have a fight or conflict with our partner, the loved ones, this part of us comes out. And we start screaming, we start yelling, we start shouting, or we start crying. And instead, what would really help is a clear communication. Why are we not able to do that? Because that part of us is not healed. It is the wounded child that is behaving that way. So there is a beautiful little divine inner child within you, and also a wounded child within each one of us. Right? So here, when we talk about healing the inner child, we are talking about that wounded part of us, wounded child, self of us, when the needs are not met, when the emotional needs are like hugs. Child needs hugs, lots and lots
Yeah.
of hugs. Yeah, and child loves hugs. When children are taken into the mother's lap and mother holds the baby, child automatically naturally calms down. Many times children don't cry just for food. Mother knows that very well. They just need my time.
Mm.
And mother just goes and hugs and cradles the child, and the child feels so happy, so good. And some emotional needs are like that. I just want your hug. I just want your attention. I just want your care. I want you to feed me. Children cannot say that, right? So they express it in different ways. So those are emotional needs. And coming to mental needs, as the child starts growing, they have a need to know everything, to explore everything. They have lots of questions. And parents, if they are too busy, then they may not answer all the questions. And yes, it's tough, not easy to answer all the questions of a child. They're so curious, and it's really tough. But then the child has a need for attention, and when the parent pays attention to the child and tries to answer whatever they know and be very authentic and I don't know the answer to this question, but maybe it is this. This is my opinion. So when the parents talk to the child like this, their mental needs are fulfilled. They feel good that the parent is giving me attention, and this is love. This is care for them. And there is this beautiful video on YouTube. You should all check that out after the session today. Um, it is by Molly Wright. She is a 7-year-old who gave a TED talk. I wonder if any of you have watched it. You should watch it. She clearly says it's so beautiful. This 7-year-old gives a demonstration and shares that how peekaboo can change the world. Just a game of peekaboo. And it is just a game for us as adults. But for a child, it's not a game, it's their life. How? When you play with your child, when you play hide and seek or peekaboo, it's like the child is trying to interact with you, get a response from you. The child is so pure, they know that the entire world is a mirror. It's reflecting themselves. That's true. The world is not what it seems like, you see. The experiences are not literally what they are. They are reflecting a part of you. But as a child, they are so plain from within. There is nothing
Yeah.
in. But when they see a reflection that is negative, they start feeling that there is something within me that is negative. If my parent is looking at a phone or a laptop or a book or anything else, even though I'm calling them for my attention, that means that is more important. I'm not important. The child believes that. The child is so
Yeah.
naive, innocent. They believe that way. They start thinking that, oh, that must be more important. There must be something wrong with me, something not so good, not so interesting. But their need is not fulfilled. So what they do is they throw tantrums and all. So they try to get an attention, grab their attention. And when we play the games with them, it's like we are giving them that attention. We are reflecting them with that love and pure energy. You see. So this is, a part of what is inner child all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Harika, for such a beautiful explanation or the knowledge you had given to us. So now moving forward, we have talked about like how these beliefs we create as how the inner child get impact, how we get wounded by some of the environmental effect, the society, our parents, knowingly, unknowingly, what we do. So now I wanted to ask, like, sometimes we had seen people carrying some fears in them, some kind of the sufferings for them. They don't know the reason behind that. And the most important one, which is like my own personal observation, not the common one, that we had seen the relationships issues very common. So, does this wounded inner child impact the life of someone in these senses as well? So, how the inner child affect our life in different areas? Please let us know on this.
Yeah, sure, true. Relationships is a major part of our lives, and even if someone has all the money in the world, beautiful health, and everything, but if the relationships are not working well, if they have conflict in their relationship with their loved ones, it is very painful. That is very, very painful for each one of us. So we obviously need to look at the root cause of where it is coming from. So what happens is most of our life, our childhood, we are we are in receiving mode as we are growing up. Till 21 years of age, it is our childhood only. Okay. So we are constantly receiving the feedback, we are trying to give, put in. So at a very young age, in just like, for example, maybe less than 5 years age, if there is a belief formed for this child, the child has very critical parent, let's say, and they're constantly criticizing, oh, you're not doing this right, you should put it that way, you should not do it this way, you should not do it that way, no, 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 or you're doing it wrong, you don't know how to do it, you just keep quiet, you should shut up. All this critical feedback, if someone gets it constantly, it's just one of the examples. There are many, many things that happen, many personalities that are developed for each situation, but one of the examples, let's say, is there is a critical parent and who is criticizing the child all the time. Now, what happens is this child starts feeling low self worth at a very young age. Now, as they grow up, they sense this low self worth. They feel very painful inside. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as that person. I'm not as good as this person. I'm not worthy to be the head of the class. I'm not. I'm not eligible for this competition, etc., etc. So what happens is either they go into a shell, like how I did in my childhood. Totally shut down. I decided that nothing works for me. I can't do anything right, and or some people, what they do is they don't want to feel this painful feeling, so they start proving themselves otherwise. They start getting into achievements. No, 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 I am not less than anybody. I will prove it. I will prove it. I will prove it. So they start becoming the topper of the class. They get into all the competitions. They achieve medals and trophies and everything. And gradually, what happens is Okay, this energy is there to till a point, but after that, the seed that was sown in childhood in their mind that you are not good enough, that seed starts planting and sprouting and becoming a big tree, and it starts giving fruits by the age of around 30 or so. When we get into a relation, 25, 30, whenever, when a partner comes into our lives, we attract exactly the partner who has similar patterns like us, who has uh, the wounds that will reflect back our own wounds to us. For example, I have um, trauma, I am not courageous. Let's say I have lost my courageous self. As children, we're all very courageous. We are even willing to jump out of something, but of course, parents will have to take care and all. But that bravery, that courage is gone gradually. Oh, you should not do this, you should not do that, how dare you go out, all of that. The child starts feeling, oh, I should not, I should not, I should not. So you see, so let's say someone has a courage block, they can't go out, they can't speak confidently and all. So they will attract someone who is courageous. Okay, unknowingly, it is all in the energy. It's the energy game. They will start liking somebody who has the opposite of them on the surface. But inside, I told you about these two personalities, right? Someone will go into the shell and the other will start trying to prove themselves. So inside them, within themselves, they also have courage issues. They will show it in that way. So when you both come together, what happens is this person will get triggered whenever you have the low self worth because they don't want to see it. That is why they are achieving all these things. They don't want to see that vulnerable side which is not able to perform, not, which is feeling low self worth. So they will start scolding this person, and this person will get upset. What is this? I'm going through so much of fear. Why are you scolding me? So, like that, this is just one example. But basically, once a partner enters our life, mostly, and then the families come together, in laws and other people come together, then everything surfaces. Many people who come to us, they say, "Arey, my childhood was very good. It all started after my marriage." But actually, the fruits start coming after marriage. We don't realize it. That's it. Even I used to think my childhood is beautiful. I'll not deny the beautiful moments. I've had the most wonderful moments also. I've had great fun with my parents. But a child perceives things differently. There have been traumatic moments as well. So that reflects in our relationships. So what we need to do to resolve these relationship conflicts is to go back to the root cause. What is it that is triggering you when someone is behaving in a certain way, when someone is saying something, using certain words or actions? What is it that's triggering you? For example, I'll give my own example. Me and my husband are total opposites. Total 100%. He loves black, I love white, even literally. So it is that opposite between us. And um, the language is so different, even though we both are Telugu speaking. The way he thinks about a certain word is different from what I think about that particular word, that same word. So that is how the language is different. It's not the actual language that we speak. It's the same with each and every one of us. If you go to an office, you meet a new colleague, you join a new office and you meet new colleagues and all. You speak a certain way. You probably came from some other place. Now here, people speak in a different way. The language is different, right? So even that brings a lot of conflicts. What you believe to be right may be wrong for them. Their upbringing is so totally different. What they believe to be right for them is wrong for you. So a lot of things are there. One needs to go back to their own childhood conditioning, their own childhood beliefs and everything. So and then they have to find the root cause. How me and my husband worked it out was this way. I went back when I was reacting to something. I was a reactive one. He's a calm one. Okay. So when I was reacting to something, after the reaction is over, I have done my thing, whatever I wanted to scold, I did it. I've done it. Then I would sit down and reflect, introspect. Why did I behave that way? Was it really right? What I feel is right is it's not always right, right? So where is it coming from? First of all, my reaction came from my childhood suppression of expression. Okay, in childhood, I was not allowed to express in different ways, not literally. Nobody literally said to me, "No, don't express." No, but in different ways. Oh, you are a child, you don't know, you keep quiet. That is enough, right? So that's one way. So that is coming, the reaction is coming from there. And now, why reaction for this particular thing? Because in my childhood, my parents told me that this is how you are supposed to be. Even the small things can trigger a couple to get into a fight, like toothpaste. Does it happen with any of you? You're not supposed to press the toothpaste in the middle. You have to press it at the end.
Yeah, I heard couple of fights like this as well. Yes, you're true.
Yeah, so even the smallest things can bring a conflict. Why? Why should it be that
Mm.
way only? Why does it trigger us? Because that's how we have been brought up in childhood. That's how my father taught me. That doesn't mean it is the right thing, right? So for a child, parents are gods. Whatever they say is written in golden letters for life. But this can become a trouble after we grow up. So that's how conflicts come. We have to go back to the childhood and find the root cause.
Thank you so much, Harika. So now we got few of us got the little bit of the answers. What is the root cause of the issues what we are facing at the moment in our life? Now, after knowing that once someone know that yes, I have a wounded inner child, we are aware with our traumas. So, what we can do and how we can heal ourselves? Is there any specific technique or something in the sequence we should do to come out from this part?
Right, yes, that's beautiful, Kanchanji. We should know, right? So now we know that yes, the foundation was in the childhood, and all my reactions and all my things that I feel are right and wrong, they're all coming from my childhood. It's not necessarily right, wrong, or anything. But now, how to heal it? How do we come out of it? We know the root cause, but how to come out of it is the main part. First thing is we become aware of that, aware of the root cause. That itself heals us to a major extent. In fact, Dr. Newton once said 70% of the problem is solved if you become aware of the root cause. I was surprised. How come? How is that possible? Just by knowing that, okay, this is my root cause, things don't change, right? I have not changed after knowing that my reaction is coming because in childhood I have had an angry parent. So I have also become like that. But as I noticed every single time that I'm reacting, as I kept noticing that, oh, this is not my behavior, this is coming from my father. And gradually it actually decreased. It started decreasing that reaction. And of course, we need to go further, we need to take action also. But first thing is becoming aware of the root cause. That can be done just by introspecting, reflecting. So, the first tool that I would give all of you, what I do for myself, is introspection. I introspect whenever there is a behavior, whenever I have done something. I introspect. After that, how am I feeling? Am I feeling good about it? Most of the times, even if we have scolded the other person or the other person scolded us, we don't feel good. It doesn't matter who wins, it doesn't feel good. That's it, because it's not our natural self. And spirituality is all about going back to our true self, right? So the child has all those qualities of your true essence, who you truly are. So one needs to introspect and go back to that, to the childhood and understand, oh, this may be coming from here. We can maintain a journal that might be very helpful. That could be very helpful. It helped me a lot because there are a lot of things that are abstract in our minds. When we put it into words, it starts forming a structure, and we get a lot of clarity. Abstract things do not give us clarity, it confuses us further. So, if you are bothered by any issue, either it be work related or relationships, your own feelings, emotions, anything, write it out. It really helps a lot. So, journaling your reactions, your behaviors, the entire day, everyday journal, maintaining a journal for your daily routine, that really helps a lot. So that you reflect by the end of the day what happened today, what are the major incidents. You don't have to write each and everything. I brushed my teeth and I had a bath. No, not required. What are the major incidents today that have had an impact on me? And just write it down. You will start feeling what could you have done better and all. You don't have to ask also. It will come to you naturally. And then, if you feel that there is a strong impact from your childhood and it is leading your life, major part of your life right now, then it's best that you go through inner child classes and sessions. So there are trained facilitators to provide individual sessions, and you can contact QLU for that. I'm from Quantum Life University, and as Kanchanji has mentioned in the initial introduction, I learned all of this from Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi. And luckily, there is a e-treat, online inner child e-treat. The retreat that we conduct here, we're conducting it online very soon. I think end of August it will start, and it's going to be beautiful. Um, and all of us must attend it. Actually, I have attended it thrice, and I'm still benefiting a lot. My first inner child program was in 2008, and this is 2024. And still, I am working on improving myself by understanding my own patterns, my own childhood, and all. It's not that it is a lifetime thing and you have to do it forever. It's not a doing, it's living. It's like revealing your true self layer by layer, opening up to who you truly are, right? So it will really help if you dive deeper into your inner child. And for a self practice, another thing apart from journaling and introspection and all, I would suggest that you just close your eyes and every day, maybe for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you can close your eyes and just try to go inward after your meditation, maybe, because meditation really helps us calm down our thoughts and go within. So that's the best time after your meditation. Immediately you can just go within and connect to your inner child. Just say hi, hello, make friendship with your inner child. It'll be easy. Today in our meditation, we are going to touch this aspect. We are going to meet our inner child, and then you will know. You don't have to do the entire process every single day. But once that connection is built, once you meet your inner child, after these many years, then there's a connection that is established. So you can continue that. You can even look into the mirror. This is my favorite exercise. It's combining mirror work with inner child work. I do that all the time. It really helps me. And I look at the mirror, into the mirror. I look into my own eyes, and I talk to myself. If there's anything that's bothering me and I'm not able to understand, if some restlessness is there within me, I go in front of the mirror and I ask myself, what's happening, Harika? You're free to express. I will not judge you. I'm here for you. You can tell me, you're safe. I say that, and it really helps a lot. I open up to myself and I start realizing things that are surprising to me. Oh, I did not know that small incident had such an impact on me. Oh, thanks for telling me. I say that, and I make friendship with myself. It really helps. So this is another beautiful exercise. After today's meditation, you'll get further more clarity on this.
Thank you, Harika, on it. So we know now a little bit like how we can work on our wounded inner child. We need the experts. The very first thing we can observe, we can be like introspect ourselves, get in deep dive in ourselves that what is the major cause, and let's get the help from the expert to come out from those wounds. So as you mentioned, is the inner child is a life going process, like there is a no specific like how many sittings someone need, like as you mentioned it's the third time you had done your inner child, so it's an ongoing process. And you mentioned about the like in standing in front of the mirror and releasing and accepting your true self. Now where I'm coming, sometimes when we come and join the spirituality, the path of the spirituality, here we start covering ourselves on the mask of this spirituality, that we are the spiritual being. You said like this small incident can give you an impact. I had seen myself. Yes, the reaction is sometimes it become quicker when you do the meditation. Not many things comes on the surface, but we start hiding those things with the cover of spirituality. That no, we are doing the meditation every day, we are reading so many of the books and all, we can't feel jealous with anybody, we can't be angry. So I just want your opinion on it, like how we impact our, is the, it is the reaction of the inner child, or we built more beliefs, or like how does it go in one on one with this part?
Thank you. It's another beautiful question. So, yes, Kanchanji, when a child is traumatized, there could be many ways, right? So, in childhood, maybe there was a physical abuse. Someone has hit you, punished you by, giving you punishments physically, hitting on the hand or on your back, slapping, or things like that. There could be emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is very, very dangerous. Emotional abuse is like, oh, you are responsible because you did this. Look what happened. Maybe mother is hurt, and just, it's not that mothers and fathers are not loving. They are most wonderful beings on earth. If they have not taken care of us, they've not given birth to us, we wouldn't be here. But sometimes even they have their own things, right? So we don't know, many of us don't know how the child feels. So if someone, parent is hurt, and they say, look what you did, and the child is so sensitive, they feel like, oh, because of me, my mother is hurt. That's an emotional trauma. Or else a constant saying that you're not good enough, you're good for nothing. This is all emotional trauma. And then there is mental trauma, words and verbal and everything. It also impacts our mind. And then there is also sometimes sexual trauma, abuse. So many kinds of abuse may be possible. It happens with many of us, and most of us go through all kinds of abuse at one level or the other. Sexual abuse doesn't have to be, totally, sexual abuse, but it can be a look also, a very bad look from somebody. So all these things, when a child is so vulnerable, so sensitive, and these kind of things happen, the child is not able to take it. It is so beyond their capacity sometimes. If the trauma is too much, there are levels, right? There's, something that is bearable, just like pain. It is an emotional pain, right? So to an extent, if there is pain, we can bear it. After that, we are like still okay. But then after one certain point, we just can't. Even physical pain, if it goes beyond a level, what happens is the person faints. Right? So if this is an emotional pain, then what happens is, as this child grows up to be an adult, they either get into addiction, alcohol, smoking, shopping, phone addiction these days, or many kinds of addictions, even thinking, obsessive thinking, OCD, all these kind of overdoing. This, either the child gets into addiction, to numb that pain, that emotional pain, that trauma that they have gone through. Or sometimes, very sadly, I'm not talking about everybody, but only a few of us, unknowingly, it's not that we do it intentionally, but unknowingly we get into spirituality to numb that pain. Okay.
Mm.
What happens is when we meditate, it is all peaceful. There is no pain, there is no problem, there is no responsibility, nothing to do, nobody to talk to, or nobody is blaming us. It feels good. Spirituality is also a beautiful tool, just like any tool. You use a hammer to hit a nail or hit someone's head. It is in your hands. It's the same way. It is so powerful, like a knife, like a sword. You can, with a knife, there are surgeries made. There are people healed using a knife. But with a knife, there are people killed also. It depends on us how we take it, how we use it. Sometimes, very unknowingly, we use spirituality as a mask. That is not a fault of ours. That is not to say spirituality is bad. No, no, no. We are all spiritual by nature. We are human only on the outside, but we are actually spirit from within. To realize our true self is the goal of human existence. Is there is no goal actually to enjoy it is the goal. But of course, in case you want to look at it that way, the purpose of this whole drama is to know yourself. But sometimes if we don't address to the pain, then this can become a mask. The tools that we are using to know ourselves, they can become a mask. It's like, for example, if you look at it from the perspective of chakras, there are three lower chakras, three higher chakras. Let's say the wounds are all there in the lower chakras, but what happens when you ignore that and you just go to the higher chakras? It's like a tree without roots. What will happen to this tree? It will fall down someday. Same thing happens to us when we do not address to the pain. Many people don't want to address to inner child issues because it's too painful. They don't want to go back. They don't want to experience it one more time. Even I was like that. I didn't even realize that I had traumas. I had so many things that happened in my childhood. I thought it's all good. In fact, the time when I attended my first inner child, I was like the most joyful person ever. Everyone was asking me when I was going, even when I was in the retreat, why do you need inner child? You're already like a child. I was only 19, and so even Dr. Newton was saying, right, in the 7 year cycle, till 21 you are a child. So I was like, I'm still a child. Even if others were saying the same thing. But after coming back from inner child, as life progressed, life situations started coming in, I realized that I do have traumas and I'm reacting from that place. I have gone through lots of punishments. I was not a topper. I was a below average student. I've gone through many punishments. I went through a lot of self-worth issues, So if we ignore this pain, if we ignore this trauma, bury it deep down because we don't want to go through it one more time, it is too painful. Then what happens is someday it will come out, someday it will all burst. It's like pushing everything under the carpet, but someday it can't take it anymore. You can't cover the thing with carpet anymore, it will be revealed. So it's best, what's best is we consciously go back and clear that stuff. We go back and clean all of that childhood trauma and everything. And we come out with a fresh, new perspective, with our pure soul's essence, with our beautiful insight and everything. So, yeah, so we can use spirituality to grow or to suppress. It is up to us. I would strongly suggest that we all work on our wounds and progress spiritually. Just like a tree. When a tree grows its roots, it can grow tall and bear fruits. Otherwise, no root, no fruit. But
Yeah. So beautiful, Harika ji. Thank you very much. We start getting the questions in the chat. So my question, I think like this is one session is not enough to cover this the whole essence in like from everyone's side. Now,
yeah.
as we are moving forward, so my another part which I wanted to know from you that your life was doing so wonderful when you started doing meditation. You are already seeing the lot many changes. In fact, you said like you received everything when you started doing meditation. Then what gave you the way to do the inner child and how it changed your life? So what's the reason why you move towards that and how the changes comes up in your life? A little bit of your journey, how this workshop has make you the different one.
Okay, thank you for that. And yes, meditation has really changed my life. After I started meditation, I actually started it just to challenge my mom. That's a different story. I wanted to prove her wrong. I wanted to tell her that just by closing your eyes and sitting in one place, things don't manifest.
Mhm.
So she said, okay, whatever you want to do, you do. You prove, but do it for 40 days for as many minutes as your age. That's all. That's all I know. That's all I have learned. She just learned meditation and came home and she taught us. And she just said this one line: if you meditate, you'll get whatever you want. And that triggered me. That I was like, you know how teenagers are, right? Things don't happen just like that. I was very rebellious. So I started meditation and it started happening actually. It started working and um, things started happening miraculously. I'll keep that story for some other time. But and the major change that I have seen in myself was I started being more happier. I was a very lost child earlier, but after I started meditating, I started feeling happy for no reason. I was like, it's okay if someone talks to me or not. It's okay if my friends like me or not. It's okay. Doesn't matter. I am happy the way it is. So that inner happiness, that joy started coming up. And until then, I was like, as you mentioned, I was very scared of talking to strangers. I would shut myself in a room. I would talk to only my parents and my elder sister, nobody else, and one or two friends of mine. That's it. Others used to think that I cannot speak. I don't have a voice. But yeah, I do, and nobody used to realize that because I was that calm. I was always a crybaby, always crying, crying, crying. After I started meditation, I naturally it reduced. The crying reduced a lot for each and every small thing. Even if ant bites, literally ant bites, I used to cry. And people used to find it very funny, but I used to find it very traumatic. I was like, an ant has bitten me and it is paining me, and I'm crying. Why are you laughing? I was like that. So, but after meditation, I started feeling stronger from within. I started feeling, why don't I talk to people? What will happen if I just face them? Let me try. Let me try to face them. And so I started taking step by step to go into the world, and I made the decision to go to Hyderabad all alone from my hometown and study there. I studied fashion design, and I was all alone in an apartment where I was not even going out alone. Out of the house I wouldn't step out alone. But now I moved to a different city altogether and stayed alone, paying my own rent, bills, electricity, everything. I wanted to try it. This courage has come to me only after meditation. I don't know how. It is like a miracle for me. But then, with the same courage, I also heard from my mother great things about Dr. Newton. She was, she was very, very much fond of Dr. Newton. She is still, of course. And his beautiful charm, smile, everyone is, of course. So she said she wanted to attend past life regression or any program with him, but it was all in English at that time. So she said, okay, if you guys are interested, me and my sister, you can go and attend if you're interested. So my sister was attending it, so I also joined along just because she's attending, not because I'm interested. And then I realized that this is beautiful, this is so good, and I felt like learning more of this. Not what I have learned so far. I felt like whatever I've learned in my studies, in my fashion design, was not even required. It doesn't matter if I design a dress today or not. It doesn't matter to me or to the world. Nobody will care. It doesn't help anybody in any way. It's not purposeful. I don't find it meaningful anymore. Now, after attending the workshops with Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi, I felt like this is what is meaningful to life. If I can attend these workshops and if I can change myself even a little bit and be a better person, at least I will probably inspire one more person, even if I don't talk. At that point, I did not expect that I'll become a teacher and start talking about it, right? So I thought, even if I change, that's enough. And because of me, my transformation, if one person is inspired, that is enough. That would be enough of a purpose for my life. So that's how I started, and I started attending Inner Child. And I hope I have answered your question today.
Yeah, somehow, like you mentioned, the things changed when you did your inner child. And yes, I think now we should, if you are okay, we should take some of the questions from the masters. Those are in the session. So after that, as you suggested, we will be going with the meditation, guided meditation with you. So I can read one question from the chat. We have addressed it, but still, like I'm going on again. Like being an adult, how to change the strong core beliefs formed at a very early stage.
Mm. Yes. So the best part is, no matter how long it has been, how many years, since how many years you have been carrying it, the moment you decide, the moment you choose to transform that belief, it will change. It is possible because it's all within you. Yes, it was a childhood thing. Yes, maybe 50 years back it has happened, 60 years back it has happened. It must be very core to you. Yes, it's possible. But still, the moment you choose, you can go back, re experience that trauma, re experience that childhood incident, scenario, and let that emotions come out. Whatever you were not able to express at that time, you should let it come out with the help of a facilitator. You can let it express, and then you will have an insight within you. It is very transformative. And don't think in terms of logic that these many years and just one moment or a few hours, how will it happen? No, there is no logic to it. It is you, it is your feeling, it is your core. Yes, definitely. In childhood, if I missed my mother's love, maybe she was not well for some reason, I missed her. Now you can't ask her to come back and give you that love. Yes, definitely it's not the same thing, but you have all the resources within you. That is why normally inner child work in Western world is just like part of psychology. But here in QLU, what I have seen is Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi, they have integrated inner child work with our core, with our true self, with our spirituality. So, what happens is we realize after coming out of that wound, see, when you are in pain, even if the most delicious food is kept in front of you, you are going through extreme pain. Can you enjoy it? Can you even have it? You don't feel like eating anything, you just want to address the pain. So, at one point, what happens is in our lives, this is what happens. The childhood trauma becomes so so what on the surface, it comes to the surface. You have to address to it. Only then can you enjoy life, enjoy the beauty of life, whatever is there around you already, whatever is present. You will be able to take it, receive the love from your spouse, from your children, from your adults around you. Only when you heal that part. Otherwise, no matter how much love is there around you, you can't feel it. So we need to first feel that part, release that emotion, acknowledge that feeling, acknowledge that child who is still feeling painful. This child was not asked from that age when this child was 5 years old and she was traumatized, hurt by the parent or somebody, some caretaker or teacher. From then till now, nobody has asked this child, "Oh, my dear child, what are you going through? I'm here for you." Nobody has told that. That child is still waiting, still going through that same pain. So, what we need to do is we need to be that parent, we need to be that caretaker. Go back, let that child express, and then you see that this child feels much lighter. And then you give that child all that love, hugs, care, attention, all that listening, everything. And then you bring that child back into your heart and you feel the difference. This may be sounding very psychological, but aren't all our ailments, illnesses psychological? They are all psychosomatic. And all our behaviors, they're all psychological. So this is much deeper than psychological. This is in fact touching your core. So this is how you can help yourself come out.
Thank you, Harika, on it. And now the next question is coming. It was in me a little bit as well. It's something like when we are raising our kids, like as you said, don't say these, the words we have chosen. If we are using, parents use some of the words and which can impact the child emotionally. So the one of the question in the chat is saying by raising our kids with such environment, aren't we making them emotionally weak? The word out there is harsh, and when they will leave the comfort place of their home, they are going to face the reality of the world and they won't be able to cope up with that. So they want your thoughts on it, how they can help their child without being emotionally damaged.
That's beautiful, beautiful question. And whoever has asked it, I really appreciate you for that. And it is true. We need to think about it, right? So let me answer this for you. When let's say you have sown a seed, okay? You have sown a seed in the ground, in the soil, you have been providing nourishment. Now you know that you can't provide nourishment for this seed after it becomes a tree also. This seed will sprout into a plant and then will grow into a tree, and it will survive for 100 years after it grows up. But for 100 years you can't keep watering the seed. So what you do is you stop watering the seed. No, it has to survive later on. So I should tell this seed that I can't do this all the time. What happens? It's like that. At a very young age, in the initial stages, we need to water the seed, and when it becomes a sprout, a small sapling, we need to protect also, right? We will have a what there is a mesh around the plant so that the other animals don't come and eat the plant, right? We protect this plant till what age? Till it becomes strong enough to survive on its own, till it becomes strong enough to take the water from the underground, till the roots are strong. But how will the roots become strong if you don't nurture it in the beginning, right? It's the same thing with humans. As a human child, at a very young age, we are not like animal babies. Like we have a goshala here. Once a calf is born, within a few hours it starts walking, and then after a few hours it starts running around, hopping around, jumping around, and it goes and drinks its mother's milk. Human babies are not like that. We need many months and years of care, right? So every species is different, and we can compare ourselves with a plant. Just as an example, like what I was saying, initial years are very important. In the initial years, if the child is given enough love, comfort, that attention, care, trust, then what happens is this child forms a belief. Like I was talking about the peekaboo, right? So when the parent reflects back to the child and responds to the child feels like, oh, I can trust. It's not just a game for the child, I told you, right? It is a matter of trust, it is a matter of communication. You see, so the child feels like when the parent goes into hide and seek, when the parent is hiding, the child looks for the parent. And the parent comes back and says with a smile, hey, I'm here. Child feels, oh, my parent is not going to go anywhere. They're going to be with me. I can trust. Now, next time the parent goes out, they will wait for them and they will receive them. Initially, they will have the fear. But as the parent keeps building this trust by playing with them, through play, they build a lot of trust. Okay, so as they play with them and all, they start feeling like I can trust life. You see, a small thing builds a trust for life. But what happens when it is the opposite? Talent is not giving attention, not playing, not doing anything, being very tough because in future it's going to be tough. Now the child starts to feel life is very tough. I can't trust. How will the child grow up with this kind of belief? They will not trust anybody and they may even not be trustworthy. You know, it becomes like a very tough world for them. At a very young age, they will have to start struggling to survive itself. It's going to be very challenging. But when the foundation is strong, when they know that I can rely on my parents, no matter what happened outside, I can share it with my parents. They will not judge me. They are very unconditional, pure, loving. When I have that trust in my parents, in my foundation, then no matter what I do, maybe as I grow up and I become a teenager, my friends are smoking, I wanted to try, I'll come back and tell that to my parent because they will not judge me. And when that unconditional space is given to me, I know that tomorrow, even if I am addicted, they will be there for me and I can come out of it. But what happens otherwise is, oh my god, my parents are a pain, if they get to know, I'm done. I'd better hide it. I'd better hide it. And as the problems start increasing in their life, they don't feel any support behind them. They can't share with anybody because the parents are so judgmental, they're so critical. They will have to handle the entire life all by themselves and they get into more and more of addictions and wrong relationships and patterns. Life becomes very challenging for them. So, in short, the answer is what I have mentioned in the beginning. As a plant, you have to take care of the plant, nurture the plant, give it the necessary, cow dung and fertilizer, good organic fertilizers and everything, and let the plant grow until it becomes strong. And then you remove the fence and leave that tree. It'll take care of its own. When in childhood, if the child is given the care, attention, and love from outside, from the parents, afterwards they will not seek that love, care, attention, and touch from outside. They are fulfilled in childhood, so they will remain with that contentment and that fullness. If in childhood it is not given, it creates a void inside the child. They will always seek for that love, care, attention, touch in different ways, in wrong ways. This is what leads to all the addictions, even the sexual addictions, seeking touch. The child has missed the touch in childhood. So it is a abused, self-abused way of seeking that love and attention. So this is what happens.
Thank you, Harika. There is one question which is going in the same, like I'm just adding first with this thread. Like by giving the all such kind of the nurture to your child, we are raising them with the positive emotions and all. But the world is in the duality. So how we like the question is with the critical situation, not being critical with the your child, how you make them understand about the those are outside the bad word, like the duality. We had filled them with the joy, but outside they are not going to see the same things. So how we can help them, we help our child with that way. So
Yes.
I think this session is going more with the spiritual parenting from the inner child, but
Yes,
yes, that's a
you
good
are
thing.
very closely related, so I
Yes.
can really understand. First thing is the parent needs to heal their inner child. Otherwise, what happens is the critical parenting that we have received that has made us stronger, we feel that we should give the same thing. I agree that my critical parents, I mean, the critical behavior of my parents, the anger and all, has made me strong. I agree to that. However, it has also made me strong only from the outside, like a tree without roots. When I realized that, when I started facing the world, I could not take it. I wanted a world that is beautiful. So, your inner child is not about being all goody goody. You have to teach nurturing discipline to the child. As a child, they need to be taught nurturing discipline, not critical discipline. But boundaries have to be taught to them. We are not, we are not criticizing them for everything. We are not judging them for everything. However, as they go out from childhood itself, they start facing the world. They start seeing the critical teachers and peers, friends who are being very jealous and this and that. They face it. But what happens is it's like when you go out into the sun and it is very hot. Like for example, in India, it's really very hot right now. It's in some places it's 50 degrees and all. It's hot sun, right? But you want to come back home and relax after a entire day of being in sun, right? That relaxation is what we are providing here. It's not that we are. If you push the child always into the sun, what will happen? They will damage themselves. So the world is going to be critical, judgmental, harsh, everything. Yes. What you are doing is you are being their backbone. You are being their support. By giving them the unconditional love and all, they are not going to be dependent on you. You are going to reflect your own inner confidence. That's why the parent has to heal themselves first. You see, when the parent heals themselves, they speak from a place of um, authenticity, not from a fear. All that that we are listening, the question that says that we have to be like this, otherwise this might happen, otherwise that might happen. Don't you think this is coming out of fear?
Yeah.
So when something comes out of fear, any behavior, even if you think it is good for the child, it's not going to do good. When you heal your own fears, your own wounds, then you come from a place of authenticity. You say the same things. You tell the child, oh, your friends are bothering you, they're teasing you, they are ragging you. I understand. I hold the space for you. I understand you don't want to go to school tomorrow. Yeah, I see that. But then someday you have to go out, right? You are strong enough. You are capable, can deal with it. You will say these words from a place of authenticity, from your truth, your contentment, not from your void. When you say the same words but from void, it will not touch the heart of the child. I have seen my friends who are in this path, who are students of Dr. Newton, who have been attending and applying this wisdom in their lives, who have children, and they are applying this. I have seen my friends' children growing up. Now they are 10 years old and 12 years old. And I used to think the same way that you have asked. I'm telling you very honestly. In the beginning, I have seen these kids who are now 12 years old. They were 3 years old when I saw them first time. And I saw their parents, my friends, giving them unconditional space. And I was like, oh God, why are you not controlling them? They are making such a noise. Why are you not telling them anything? I have attended in a child, but I've not healed myself fully. Right? So I was still getting this thought. No, no, no. My father has been very critical with me. That's why I've learned this. I was giving them gyan, but they were like very much like, no, no, it's fine, it's okay. They were just quiet. Now today, when I see them, I have seen them going through all these challenges in school. They were bullied, they were, given punishments. There were times when these kids went through tough times. They would throw tantrums, all of that school stuff on the parents, but the parents were just being there, just supporting them. And the parents were actually doing their own healing. Okay, how is this triggering me? How can I stay calm even though my child is like very naughty right now? So they're throwing tantrums on me. So they would do their own inner work and then deal very compassionately. Today I see such wisdom in those children. They are so, so wonderful. So I've seen real life example of children growing up in this kind of environment, not just one or two. There are many children like this, and they are very much stronger than you think.
So wonderful sharing, Harika. Even I have my personal experience with my daughter. Like the way you expressed by meditation, you got the friends by front. They come from the front and made you friend. Similarly, like she worked in the same way by just doing the meditation. She still think, Mama, how someone can do meditation and attract the friends only. So these things work, but yes, the most important, we need to work on ourselves wherever we are getting these fear consciousness. So this fear part is to just an alarm for all of us that our inner child is wounded where we need to heal first. Thank you very much. And there is one question: if the single parent is there and they are raising happy kids, they want to raise, so but as the kid is going to missing one of the parent, is their childhood lives resulting in a painful inner child?
Yeah, so that is a tough situation, and yes, the child will be missing the nurturance, the love, and the caring, the presence of the other parent. Yes, definitely that will have an impact on the child. But if it is mandatory, you can, try to minimize it by telling the child that, giving whatever best you can. Don't try to mask it, don't try to hide it. At the right time, you can share the reasons, but don't put your emotional stuff, on them. Just that is one suggestion. And yes, it will have a impact on the child, but as they grow up, give them the tool of inner child. Tell them at the right time once you feel that they are mature enough, and as they grow up, also give them that space and that understand that they are missing their other parent. Like for example, if the child is missing the father, and it is a boy child, it is very tough for the boy to learn how to be a man without father. It is tough. But what you can do in inevitable situations is just to guide them through this, to tell them that, you just support them, give them some guidance, maybe the right wisdom, and then they can find out from within, they can find an inspiration without attachment. Otherwise, what happens is these children might get attached to someone else who looks like a father, who behaves like a father, and it can have different kinds of impacts. But they can take inspiration from somebody, but they will have to generate it from within. So it's tough. It's like not having a limb. It is tough to handle, but you have to manage. That's it. But it can be healed. So be positive. It's not a negative thing, and I understand these days it's a common scenario. After they grow up, they can understand about inner child and they can heal their wounded inner child. They can understand with the adult mindset. Yes.
Thank you very much. There is another question, the another side of it. Like, what about when the absent parents in like our life? Somebody said like, I'm 35 at this moment, and I still crave for the appreciation from my family and from my in-laws, but I never get it.
So that is an indication that you need to heal your wounded inner child. So there is a void that has been formed at a very young age. Child needs appreciation, encouragement. When we do not get it at that age, we look for it the entire life. Whatever we missed in the childhood, we keep searching for it. So I think this question leads us to the actual experience. So I think it's a good time to have the experience of meeting the inner child in our meditation. So once, only when we get into the experience part of it, we can really understand it, we can feel it. Otherwise, we can ask many questions and intellectually understand it, but until you feel the presence of a child, your heart will not open. So you can heal your inner child. Whoever is asking this question, our friend, I would suggest them that it's like very good that you have recognized this. The first thing is recognizing, and then second thing is accepting it. It's very tough to accept that yes, I am looking for appreciation and I'm not getting it. I'm feeling bad about it. That's a great progress. You have reached 70% of it. It's just 30% more, and you can heal your inner child. You can give that to yourself.
Thank you, Harika. I cannot see more questions in the chat. If anybody want to ask anything before we go with the guided meditation with Harika, please just raise your hands as
Yeah.
we talk about empty yourself with your questions first before we dive in.
If it is very important and you have to, I have to answer it before the meditation, then you can ask now. Otherwise, after the meditation, we can have a few questions.
Vikal Gupta ji is having a question.
Hi, Harika ji. Good morning. It was a really very nice session. And so we talked about that, healing ourselves with the inner child wound. At the same time, we are now parents and we are the, childs and all. And knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, we have hurted them. So is there any way to we can heal them or they have to heal them by self?
Yeah. So this is also a very good common question that we get from all parents, because parents love their children so much that they cannot see them with all the wounds and all. So I understand your question. And if they are above 21 years, above 18 also, they are mature enough to heal themselves, and they better do their own inner child healing, start from there itself. They are below 18 years old, they are still young, then as a parent, if you heal yourself, that really helps them. That energy can really transform them. Even after they grow up, if they are not willing to do their inner child healing, also give them that space and time. That's okay. As a parent, you are connected with your child forever, for the entire life. So at any point, if you heal yourself, if a parent heals themselves, it will have a positive impact on the child, even if the child is 50-year-old or however old they are. I hope that
Okay,
answers.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful Q&A session with you, Harika, and thank you for your patience you kept throughout the session for answering all these. So I think we are ready for the meditation now. So it's
Yes.
over to you now
Thank
completely.
you.
Thank you for being here.
So, friends, let's dive into the experiential part of this wisdom. We have heard a lot about inner child, but now we want to experience it, right? We're all curious beings. We want to feel everything, experience everything. So, let us all sit comfortably wherever you are. If you're not driving, then do this process. If you're driving or doing some other activity, please don't get into this. I would suggest everyone to come and sit in a peaceful seated environment. And you can remove your spectacles if you're wearing any. If you'd like to have some water, you can have water a little bit. It will be a short process. We will just be meeting our inner child today. We will just say hi, hello to the child, and we will come back. Okay. So be prepared to visit your childhood home. Okay, if everyone is ready, let us start. Let us begin the process. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. We will have a gentle background music if possible. And be with your breath. Normal, natural, simple breath. Relax yourself. Relax your body. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And with the exhale, relax your mind. Relax. Allow your thoughts to settle down, calm down. Allow your body to stay still. And now, give yourself permission to go back into your past, into your childhood. Allow your memories. Just rewind. Feel yourself walking in a place of nature. And from there, the peaceful environment, the birds chirping, grass under your feet, trees around you. You can see the light blue sky. Keep walking in this pleasant environment, totally relaxed. And as you keep walking, you come across a bridge. It's a small bridge. It is safe, you know that. And you're so curious to see what's on the other side. So just get on this bridge and keep walking. As you keep walking, you see that you're going back in time. Into your childhood. Slowly, there are some memories coming to you. And you have almost reached the end of this bridge. And now, as you step out of this bridge, you see your childhood home. Go towards this home where you lived as a child. Whatever comes to your memory first, let it come. Don't use your logic. You can put your logical mind aside. Remember this home where you have lived as a child, even for a few years, maybe. Whatever is coming to you, let it come. Now, open the gate and enter this house. Go inside. Look at this house, this place where you have spent your childhood, maybe a part of your childhood or some precious years. Explore this house, the rooms, doors. Now, in this house, you will see your childhood self, your inner child. It could be your 3-year-old or 5-year-old or of any age. Just let it come to you. You can go into each room and try to look for that child. Where is this child hiding? Are they hiding anywhere? Try to find this child. And once you find this child, look at them. Look at their expressions. Try to understand what they are feeling in this moment. What is this child feeling? What do you see? What do you feel? Do you feel that this child is happy or angry? Is this child hiding? Is this child hesitating to come to you, or are they okay to come to you? Accept it whichever way it is, just be there and observe the behavior of this child. Give them that space. Are they looking at you curiously? Who is this person? What are they doing here? Are they having any questions? Are they feeling emotional? What exactly is going on in the mind of this child, in the heart of this child? Accept it, whatever it is. Accept it. Just let them be what they are. Don't try to change them. As you look at this child from a distance, you can now tell this child, "Hi, my dear inner child." You can call this child by their favorite nickname, childhood name, so however they would like to be called. And you can tell them that I am your future self. I'm coming from the future. I'm here to meet you. I came here to see you. Feel how the feeling of the child is, how the child is feeling. When you say these words, how is the child feeling? Further, you can say, I'm so happy to meet you. My dear inner child, I see you now. I feel your presence. And I know that you are so precious. I want to tell you this. You are so precious for me. I love you. Just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I really do. You don't have to change for me. I accept all your emotions. You don't need to hide anything from me. You are free to be yourself. You can tell the child when they feel like coming to you, they can come to you. You will always be there for them. Tell them that you respect them, you respect their space. It's okay to take time. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. You don't need to suppress anything. And I really mean it. I love you, dear child. My dearest inner child. I love you for who you are. You will always be there in my heart. Now take a moment to listen to this inner child if they want to say anything. and this child for meeting you, and tell them that you love them dearly and they will always, always have a space in your heart. If the child is willing, you can open your arms and give them a hug. Beautiful, warm, loving hug. And tell them that I will keep visiting you regularly from now on. I will come back to you. Together, let us make this life the most beautiful for both of us. Let us have a great time in this life together. We will heal together. We will love together. We will live happily together. My dear inner child, I promise you, I'll be there with you. You are always in my heart, and I feel your presence. I love you. And for now, it's time to say bye. I'll keep coming back. I'll see you again next time. And now, slowly, feel this inner child going back into your heart and just slowly come out of this childhood home, back to this bridge, walking. And your childhood home is slowly disappearing behind you as you walk over this bridge, crossing the bridge, and getting back into this beautiful place of nature. And you can hear the birds chirp one more time. This is a beautiful place. There's grass, there are trees, birds, butterflies. Allow yourself to integrate this experience of meeting your inner child. Here, feel the presence of your child in your heart. And slowly, slowly, bring this experience back to the present. Coming back, bringing all these beautiful memories, this experience, coming back to the present as I count 5 to 1. Last 5 seconds of this meditation. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With a beautiful smile, you can place your palms on your eyes and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you have had a glimpse, at least, of your childhood home and your inner child. So I would like to know how many of you have been able to connect to the childhood home. Only the home you could remember. Yes, 1, 2, okay. Anyone else? Okay, you can put it in the chat box. Or yes, okay. Chat. Yes. And how many of you could meet your inner child? Okay, that's great. Yes. So I want to know, I'm curious to know, how was your inner child? Was she or he happy or angry or how were they? You can put it in the chat box because I'm very curious because when I met my inner child, the inner child was not willing to come to me. She was very upset that I did not meet her all these years and she was like not coming to me at all. I was like trying to give her a hug and she is just standing there, not coming. I don't trust you, kind of. Anyone else felt that way? I'm just curious.
We can
Yes,
see in chat, yeah, people were able to meet their inner child.
yes, that's good. That's good. Anyone wants to share anything? I'll be very happy to hear if you have time. I know it's already 7:30.
Yes.
It's a
From
weekday.
my side, I was just stuck up in the house and I was able to see the room where the chairs, like the welcome area for the guest. I was just standing over there. I tried to roam around, but I was stuck in that room, couldn't move out from there.
Which room were you stuck in?
It was the living, we can say where the we bring the guest room basically. So I was able to see the chairs which my mom and dad used to keep in their room. So those chairs were in front of me only. From there, I couldn't move.
Okay, all right. That's good. You went there and you just look at if there's anything strong over there. Maybe the inner child would meet you there itself. Yes. Even I met my inner child in in the living room, not in my room actually.
Hmm.
Because most of the time I was in the living room, I was lying on the sofa in my childhood and eating there, watching TV there, fighting there, everything. So maybe it has something for you.
Sure, I'll work on that. Yes, Nandana said, I saw my inner child but missed my parents.
Ah, yes. So this time I have not guided you to meet your parents because this the focus I wanted to keep was on the inner child, and we had a short time and also right now it was just that. That's okay. But if you was trying to say through your message that the inner child was missing the parents, then that is something. That is something beautiful that has opened up for you. You can look into that. And Saraswati ji is saying happy
So,
Patrikas
well, yeah.
then and still continuing to the present. Yes, yes, Saraswati ji.
Okay. Vijay Lakshmi Arora, she wrote that she was able to go in each room, saw the childhood house, inner child scared and hiding.
Yeah. So that's what happens, right? When you go to a friend's house, if there are kids, what do the children do? They don't first
No,
come and they are strangers. You are strangers to them. So they will go and hide. And then they will just peek from behind the bed or from somewhere. And then slowly they will bring their toys to you. They'll start playing. And that's how they make friendship. So it's natural. It's beautiful that you connected to your inner child. The children are like that. Don't worry. It's the first meeting. Gradually, you can make friendship with them.
yes. So I think, Masters, do anybody else want to share something before we go with the closing part of this session? So if anybody is having anything, I think everyone is good till so far. So thank you so much, Harika, for this wonderful meditation, wonderful session. I really enjoyed up to my deepest and like I wanted to have more and more with you. But yes, time is the limitation. We need to stop at one point, and we will be waiting to have you again, like with some other sessions. And yes, so from the core of my heart and on the behalf of whole team, I would like say thank you to you and the gratitude to you for taking on such a beautiful journey for us. Thank you so much, Harika, for being with us. And
Thank you, Kanchanji, and the entire team. I'm so grateful to everyone, all your team members. Sharmaji was coordinating with me, and Prithvi, I spoke to her again yesterday. And you, Kanchanji, it's such a beautiful experience talking to you, interacting with you, and all the participants here. I love the energy because they are, very active and constantly responding and asking questions. And it's beautiful, very lively experience. I had a great time being here, and thank you for trusting me, for giving me this opportunity. And I'll be very happy to see you again next time. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank
And
you, Harika.
uh,
Being
one
here.
last thing, I invite all of you to Quantum Life University. Please come visit this beautiful place. It's in Vikarabad. I know you are far away, many of you, but if you visit India, please do make a point to visit here. And in case before that, you can attend any of our online programs. In case you also want to learn from my teachers, Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi, there's a beautiful opportunity. There's an Inner Child e-treat online program in August. You can check the details on the website. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harika, for being with us. Now, I will request the team members to please provide the details to the participants they would like to access the information, how they can enroll themselves for these online sessions, and furthermore, how they can go on with this modality to help themselves. So, thank you once again, Harika, for being here. Thank you very much. And now, thank you to all of you for being here and attending this session. And that's why we were able to make it so beneficial for all of us. So, with the core of my heart, on the behalf of whole team of IFSS International and PSSM Global, I would like to extend my gratitude to each one of you who has attended the session. And yes, please tune up yourself for the next session. So, seeing you all tomorrow again. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.